Indeed. All right. Last session, you guys reconvened together. Both of you all, both groups, sort of heading towards the library. Max, you were heading towards the library because you knew it was the only way to get into the Archmage's, any of the Archmage's chambers outside of two of the Archmages, who you can go to without going through the library. Firadina with Modolfir and Mayman were thinking the same thing, and at the same time thinking that Max would reconvene there naturally out of instinct as well. Let me turn down this volume a little bit. When you guys did reconvene, you entered the library finding a series of skeletons as well as a zombie or ogre. You began fighting them. Max took control with Command Undead of the ogre, but during that battle you noticed there was magical effects being cast upon you from upstairs in the library on the second level, as well as two new entrants that came in later in the fight began casting spells. The final actions of the last round were the two that had just entered had cast spells, and one of the ones at the top was holding their action as they saw Modolfir coming up. So I will now display them. So with that, it is right back to Max's turn. What you got, Max?
So would leading... Can I tell the undead ogre to go and well, hold on. So how much space is there on the catwalk above us?
It's about like a 10-foot wide catwalk, and it kind of outsets. So the catwalk itself, let me see if I could draw this. It's kind of wider than the room down below, so it's kind of like it sets back in this space a little bit more, like that.
Okay. All right. I'm not on my screen, but can I order the ogre to go and attack the two people that just came in, or is there not enough space for that?
No, you definitely can.
Okay. Is that just like a free action, or is that a...
The only thing that you have to do to command the ogre is speak verbal, so I allow that. That's a swift action. You can do it while you're moving, or as long as it's not during when you're using voice.
The two that just came in, they came in through the entrance that we came through, or a different way?
Yes, they came in from the south.
Okay, so I kind of point through the bookcases towards that direction.
Mm-hmm.
And tell him to There's not really a great way for me to differentiate. Interesting. Okay, here's a question. You know how there's like that teleport thing you said?
Yep.
If I activate it, would I be going along for the ride, or can I activate it and send the ogre?
When you say the teleport thing, which teleport thing? Because there's multiple different
the
ones.
One that you said that like picking up a book and taking it to the some sort of a desk.
Everyone who is touching that, anyone who is touching the same being who's holding the book.
Okay, and is it like if it's used once, can other people use it also, or is it like does the book go up with them?
No, the book basically returns back to its spot in the library once it's used for that purpose.
Okay.
So it could be reused.
I'm going to give the book to the ogre.
Okay.
And tell it to go put the book on that desk to activate whatever the mechanism is. So it goes upstairs.
Okay. Let me see. Command Undead. Remember, this was a dumb being, considering you didn't have to do like any. There wasn't a will save on it. Go there, fight, stand still.
Yeah.
I would say you could tell it to go there towards the desk, and
Yeah,
how
but if-
quickly it understands to put the book down.
Okay, but fight. Okay, I mean, put this there. You know,
Okay. You point at the book and you go there to the desk. Yes?
I point to the book as I'm putting it in its hand.
Yeah.
I tell him, go there. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Noted. That is a swift action. What else?
Can I just temporarily delay my standard action until I get to my desk? I'm like 3 minutes away from it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fine.
I don't want to mechanically delay. I'm not there, so I can't.
Go ahead. Let me go ahead and resolve the ogre action as you get to your desk. As you call that out, the ogre does start moving through these bookshelves. He kind of stamps over the portion that he broke down with when he was fighting Madolfir, and squeezes through the area between the two bookshelves. The two bookshelves just start parting as he walks through them. One of them topples partially over, and he gets to Mayman, and just kind of shoves his way through since they are allies. And he is able to just barely make it towards the table at the end of his round. Again, shoving most of the bookshelves out of his way that are like only 3 or 4 feet wide, hallway width. As he gets to the counter, the checkout desk, there's nobody at the checkout desk, and he kind of holds onto the book and he goes, "Huh? I'm going to do. Let me see. Doesn't have intelligence, so you can't use that." Yeah, I'm just going to say, well, he can't do anything else anyways. That's the end of his actions. So that is the end of that round. Firadina is up next. Now, something was just cast on Firadina. Max, you know that it was a spell. You did spellcraft, and it was Bothersome
Are you
Babble.
there, GM?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear
Test.
you, Nina.
Okay. You guys can hear
Yeah, I
me
can hear you.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
Can Me-Man hear us?
Is that me, or did he cut out for the y'all too?
No, I'm hearing you, Nina.
I can hear him.
It must have been you.
Yeah, you didn't cut out.
All right, let me drop and come back. That's on me then.
Okay, no worries. So Firadina had a spell cast on her. I'm doing a spellcraft check for her. Let's see. Oh, okay. She is going to attempt to cast Shield. She's going to attempt to cast Shield on Madolfir, who is kind of hanging up in the air. Let's see. That has vocal. So as she attempts to cast Shield, her mouth is just kind of like babbling. The words coming out, even to Max, don't sound like anything arcane or in common. She is going to take 1d8 points of damage. So she takes 5 points of damage as she attempts to cast a spell. She kind of gets frustrated at that. It does not succeed because she cannot verbally use she can't do the verbal component unless she is able to pass the concentration check. So let me do the concentration check for her. That does not pass, so she also fails to cast the spell itself. Um,
GM.
so, yeah,
Who's this guy?
that is Sandiva, but you don't physically see him. Only Medolfir sees him at the top.
Oh, okay, he's upstairs. Okay. Can I?
Yeah.
After
He's laying on his
Fiorentina.
Sandiva's kind of like very lowly crouched to the ground where he's like on one knee, but yes, his belly's not quite on the ground, but he is crouched down very low. Hold on, Max. Just in terms of resolving Fiorenina's actions, she is going to move over and kind of give you a look like something's wrong as she hops off the bookshelf. All right. So, Max, I'll go back to your action now that you were sort of non-mechanically holding. What were you going to do?
Okay. So the ogre like went like that.
Yep. You kind of had to knock over some bookshelves on the way, but yes.
Okay. And I don't hear any kind of like spell casting or anything up above me, right?
Not at this moment, but you did catch the last spell from out here. You didn't hear any spells from up here in this round, though.
Okay. So yeah. All right. Is Medolfir still like? I know it says plus 15, but I remember he was doing the Prince of Persia thing, right?
Yes, he is holding on with one hand to the rail as he is climbing up it. Now, at the end of his turn, he was still in the action of climbing, but he had successfully made it to the top of the rail.
Can I still reach him?
Ooh, not from where you are, no. He's 15 feet up in the air, so his feet are like 10 or 11 feet up. 10 feet up, let's say.
So I can't climb up the... Okay, all right.
Yeah, in fact, his legs aren't even dangling. He is straight up. His feet are at 15 feet up now.
How high up are the bookcases?
The bookcases, I believe, from last time were 8 feet.
Okay. Are they a tough climb or are they a easy climb?
Easy climb. Like, it would just be a slower movement for anybody. It's an automatic, but it's just a slowed movement.
Okay. I'd like to climb up.
Okay.
Like under him.
Yep. So you go at half speed on this. That's easy. That's how easy of a climb it is. So you're underneath Medolfir.
Okay. My speed is currently 30. So.
Yep. So that took about we'll call that 15 feet of movement.
Okay. And I'm going to cast blade. Okay. Once I get to that height, can I see this dude?
From 8 feet. Yeah, I'll say you could just see sort of his shoulders and head from that height.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes?
Not knees and toes.
Not knees and toes. Okay. All right. Is this someone I recognize?
Oh yeah, it's Sandiva, very recognizable wizard, drow in some of your necromancy school classes.
But he's not a archmage. He's just another person at this.
Yeah, he's a scholar like you, a little bit older than you,
but he's obviously a problem, right?
Based on what everyone told you coming into that antechamber room where you guys convened, Sandiva's journal and the notes were found in Sandiva's sort of room. Yes, you got the gist that he was a problem.
Okay. All right. So in that case, I cast Blade of Blood.
Okay.
And tap. I imagine like because Medolfir is like climbing up, I imagine his sword that he's using or his weapon that he uses is like not in his hands. I guess I don't know.
Medolfir was able to climb because it's a rail with only one hand. So, Medolfir, I assume you're still holding on to your greatsword?
Absolutely.
Okay, is it like I imagine it's dangling, so I can like tap it.
I'd allow that. Yeah, his hand would be up, so the other arm would be down instinctively. I'd say that's okay.
So the casting time. Okay, so here's the question: the casting time of this is a swift.
Okay.
Is that okay?
As long as you use your entire standard action for it, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I guess I can. All right. So yeah, I cast that, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna sacrifice some hit points. So how does this work? I sacrifice 5 hit points to empower it to do an extra 2d6. So the next time you do it, it's gonna be 3d6 of extra damage on the target. And I know that this guy is not a lich, right?
No, a Lich would be a level 20 character.
He's not undead, though. He's still just like a drow that's living, and I know the guy.
Yeah, there's no signs of him being undead.
All right, cool. So
No
yeah,
visible
I say, quick, get to him and kick his ass. And then I use the rest of my movement to come back down.
Yeah, I'd allow that.
Okay. Is there any movement after I get back to the floor?
No, that'll be it.
All right, that's my turn. Thanks.
Okay.
Sorry
Yeah,
about
and the only reason you were allowed to cast in between moves was because that was kind of a swift action, standard action kind of spell. So, all right, just for future reference, you can't do that usually.
Oh, you know what? No, you're right. I'm gonna stay at the top. No, you're 100%.
Okay.
I'll stay at the top. Yeah, plus 8. Yeah.
All right, so that was Faradina, everybody at top. Medolfir, you are finally at the top. However, before you are able to pull yourself up, I need you to make a reflex save. Okay. You take 2 caster levels. Okay. So you're going to take. Hold 1 second. 4. Ooh, those were good rolls. 8. Ooh. I just rolled 3 4s. You're going to take 12 points of damage from cold damage as a cone of cold air blasts out towards you. And actually, Max, you are also in this cone. No, I'll say the floorboards. Yeah.
Didn't he just cast?
No, that was in the prior round. Before this round, he was holding on this round.
No, didn't he? They all went this round, Jim, because he cast.
So keep in mind, he was here.
Battling.
Yes, but he was here beforehand on the prior round. The other 2 just showed up this action round, but he's been here on past rounds.
No, but this is the first. Okay, this is what I'm saying. This is the first round that Faradina had to act against the babbling, or what is it, the bothersome babbling. Last round, she didn't have to act against it because she already took her turn.
Yes, correct. Keep in mind, he was holding action in the prior round also. So he could have acted at the end of the round.
Max, he is not the one that cast that on her. It was one of the 2 that.
No, he was actually the one that cast that on her.
So what you're saying is he held his action last round because he
end of the
round. So he basically went twice. So he went at the end of last round because he held his action till the end of the round, and then this time he held his action yet again to the middle part of this round.
You got
it. Okay, I understand now.
I thought it was one of the others that cast that on her. Okay, my bad.
Now, since you can see him and he can see you, Max, I am going to say that the cone does also affect you as he points it down towards Midolfir. So you also need to give me a reflex save.
Okay, it's my worst one. Let's see what happens.
Oh, all right. That is enough to save. So I believe that's half the damage.
I have an idea. Since
Yep.
I'm already on this block and I'm 8 feet up, right?
Uh-huh.
So instead of, since I'm not mechanically moving, right? Still the same 5 foot square, but can I jump to the other bookcase within that square?
I'll allow it.
I didn't
You take
move, but
You do take 6 points of damage, though.
all right. Okay.
All right, so that is his held turn. Midolfir, it is now your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna finish basically pulling myself up over the rails of the platform.
Okay.
And since that counts as movement during that round, I'm gonna just arc my sword across his chest and do a single attack.
Okay, your audio is breaking up, but I heard that you are going to take your sword and strike out at him now.
Is this any better on the audio?
That's way better. Yep. So go for it.
So yes, single attack.
Okay.
So the act of getting up over the railing is going to count as my movement.
Yeah, I'm going to say that wouldn't. Well, you know what? Give me a balance check. I'd say DC 10, you're able to kind of like quickly sweep your legs over the small beam here as a swift action. Oh, well, you did hit the exact 10. Yeah, I'll say that as a swift action, you were able to swing your legs over and still kind of be ready to swing your sword. So it's a full action. Okay,
So I'm going to do full attack on him.
Sounds good. Okay. Yeah. Wow. That is massive damage.
Did the 13 land?
The 13 did land. Mages are real
shit.
squishy.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
44. Yeah.
Midolfir, you're the best.
How do you want to do this?
So as I swing over my let's see, I'm trying to picture this in my head. Swinging over, swords in my right hand. Okay, so yeah, when I grab, I'm basically doing just 2 cross swings back and forth. So my second has the sword going towards this little alcove. Is this an alcove behind to the north of this?
Okay, you were breaking up a little bit. Something's up with your audio for sure.
Any better?
Yeah, it's better.
Is this better?
It just kind of fades in and out at times.
Okay, it's just proximity to the mic. It's a shitty mic, so if I move more than like 2 feet away from it, it gets Anyway, yeah, just cross swings across them back and forth. And if I can use my sound wave from Transformers, if I can use my like as a swift action, I want to like shove in with my foot.
Okay.
Will that come through? Okay.
So you're trying to cut him in half, if I heard right?
No.
Now you're fully cutting out. It's not just me, right? Everybody else?
Yeah, no, his audio
Okay.
was totally
Yeah.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't hear him.
We shall hold. Up next is going to be Lanray and then Me-Man. So let's hear you, Midolfir.
Any better?
Much better.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that.
I'm going to cut him, swing twice, and then I want to use, if I can, my swift action to push him with my foot over the rail.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's going to be another extra 1d6 damage. Not that you needed it. Okay, as you cut through him, his casting arm was actually still out after having cast at you, and your sword just lops that arm off, and then you cut back the second way as he's like freaking out about his arm, and give him a lethal cut across the neck, instantly killing him. And as you pull your sword back, you use your foot to kick him off the rails, where he lands onto the top of the bookshelf on his back, and then sloughs off onto the ground itself. He is super dead, and there is a pool of blood down below. That is your turn. All right. Lanray, you just saw Midolfir knock a drow wizard off the top rail, who is clearly dead now. What are you doing?
Well, so I can see the two mages to my south.
Yes.
Back because the doors are open, I guess.
Correct. You left the doors somewhat open as you all rushed through with Mayman and Midolfir's size, basically.
Got it. Okay. And between the two of them, I mean, do they both look like they're actively doing something? Can I tell they're casting stuff or trying to cast stuff, or is it one of them?
One of them is in the process of casting something, some kind of spell that is ongoing. That is the third of them, which is this guy. Oop, I did not mean to kill him. This guy right here. This other one attempted to cast something but failed last time, so he's not doing anything at the moment.
Right. So I'm gonna look at them basically and see the one that is trying to cast something and attack him.
Okay.
So I am running short on arrows, which is not great.
Okay. So all of those strike. Now, Max, I need a ruling on this. When it's a melee or range weapon attack that is separate but like a full action, is the concentration check against each one individually? So the 6-point damage, then the 5-point damage, then the 10-point damage?
Okay, so here's the question. Yeah, because each one has its own attack roll, right?
Yes, exactly.
If one of them was if one of them was like extra damage, like if it was an extra arrow, but it's rolling the same attack roll, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then it would count as one. But if you're rolling attack twice, then it's concentration for each.
Okay, that was my understanding as well. So he's going to have to make 3 different concentration checks. And it's going to be a 16 DC, a 15 DC, and a 20 DC, if I remember correctly.
I'll double check. Go ahead and roll it. I'll double check while you're doing that.
So here comes the first one. He rolled a... Let me check his skills.
Yeah, 10 plus damage. So 15, 16, 20.
Okay, he rolled a 23 on the first one. He rolled a 22 on the second one. And he rolled a 29 on the third one. So he does pass. Mm-hmm.
Can I do a spellcraft check on what the spell that he's concentrating is?
Yeah, I think you did already. But go ahead and, just in case you didn't, I'm sure it'll be passing. So that's pretty much anything through level 9. So you would be able to determine it, right? He was casting Summon Monster 4.
What roll?
Okay. Yep.
I looked at SRD. It's damage during the action. So that's all I see. I don't see.
Yeah, but I do think each of those, if it was like Max described, if it was additional damage or even if it was like one of the arrows, like if you do the 2 arrows at the same time with multi, like that would be the amount of damage because it's 1 attack but 2 damages. But each of the attacks is a separate concentration check.
It is written ambiguously though. Like the actual raw is not clear on this.
Well, GM's ruling, I'm going to say that's how it's going to work throughout for everyone.
That's how I've always done it because I've always
whatever
been like,
you do, it happens on both sides. So whatever decision you make, will work both ways.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's going to be the ruling. All right, so Lanray, you do strike him, however. He just doesn't lose his concentration. So you do cause 21 points of damage. Not insignificant. These guys are mages. So you know that Max is like kind of squishy also. Do you want to do anything with your swift action?
I will. No, I'll stay there.
Okay. Madolfir, Varg is currently over by Mayman. Were you calling out anything to him, or were you busy chopping Sandiva down?
all he used was a little bit of movement and his.
Yeah.
Well, he did use the full attack, right?
He did, but I would allow if you were yelling out something while you were fighting.
No, if he sees enemies that aren't super big, then I would have.
Do you think he would go and attack the one that Lanray just attacked?
Is it the one that I just moved?
No. He would go to the closest one, I think.
Where is the closest one?
He wouldn't take lead from his one of the people in his master trusts to attack the one that he's attacking.
Nah, closest one.
Yeah, no, closest one. But that one that I moved him to is the closest one. Yeah.
Yep. So go ahead and give me a bite attack from Varg as well. Mayman, you're going to be up next. 16 to hit. Does hit. These guys need shield spells or something. Let's see. That's going to be an opposed strength check. Oof. Not great. Okay, he is tripped. So this guy is now prone. Very good, doggy. Me-Man, you watch as Varg trips and bites into this guy. What are you doing?
I'm going to charge the guy behind. I'm going to get into punishing stance, and then I'm going to charge the guy behind, knowing I'm going to take an attack from the guy that just fell.
Okay. Although I have to check, in the prone position, do you still retain your attack of opportunities? I'll have to check that.
I'll let you make a call on there. My initial call would be yes, but if the character has any height to them, then no. Like if they're like elevated in more than like a foot off the ground, then
the only way that the prone condition refers to attack opportunity is that when you stand up, it is a move equivalent action and provokes attack opportunity, but it doesn't really change it otherwise.
So he will get one of those against you. But is he actually going to take? Yeah, he has his dagger out. He is going to just swing a dagger at you because why not? You did cross him.
My AC is -2, I believe, because of my stance. So it's only 14.
Okay. -2. What are we? Are we using a Takeo system or what?
Yeah. -2 is real good.
He is taking a -4 on his attack. So it's a 12 to hit with a -1. So it's a 1 damage if it does hit.
I mean, it would have given me 1 damage. That I wanted to get hit, but at that point,
Yeah. That does not strike you, even though you are taking that penalty. He kind of tries to stab at your foot, but your boot protects you from the stab. So what are you doing now?
I get a single attack, right? So I just have to figure out.
Yes. You guys really don't want this guy to cast Summon Monster 4, I see.
Generally, I think that's probably not a good thing for us.
We decided the greater magical weapon stuff was already adding it, so I don't need to add that, do I?
Correct. It is accurately adding it to your buff. Yep. And that lasts for a long time, hours.
Nice.
Okay, that is going to be significantly harder to avoid concentration issues.
He also gets because I'm in punishing stance, I get an extra 1d6, so it's actually 29.
Okay. He is dropped
That's
to
a
0.
DC of 39.
Yeah. He is dropped to 0 health. I will go ahead and roll out his skill check in the open. His concentration check is the following. Hey, what the heck? I said roll it. There we go. Okay, no. He failed that one. He only rolled a 7. Okay. So with that, you do stop him from casting the spell. He drops to 0 health. He is currently disabled. That is your turn, I believe.
Yep, that's it for me.
Okay. You guys are able to stop him from continuing that. Let me just add the disabled condition on him. All right, that was Mayman's turn. So it goes back to the top of the round. This guy's still dead. Okay. The other Planetum Mage. Let's see. Does he? I don't think he has any heal spells, but I will check. He does have a potion. That's going to take up his entire turn to do that, though. You have put me in an awkward conundrum.
He can cry uncle.
He could. And he is prone still. So to stand up from prone will also take a move action. Okay. And to take the potion and feed it would be a standard action.
I'm looking up what if potion provokes or not.
It would. It does.
Okay.
Using a potion or oil provokes an attack of opportunity. He can reduce the amount that impacts him by taking a 5 foot. Standing up also will do that, by the way.
Is there anything that specifically says you have to be standing up in order to take a 5-foot step?
Prone doesn't stop it, so you are correct about that. So he's
The
going to
word
take.
step?
Yeah, it's kind of a 5 foot mud crawl. Okay, he's going to take a 5 foot. No, but he can't take a 5 foot because that would impact his movement, which he needs in order to stand up. So he's going to stand up. So Varg and Mayman, you get an attack of opportunity if you wish to. Okay, Varg does successfully strike him for 4 points of damage. Mayman, are you taking yours?
Yeah, can I
You
do
try to
non-lethal?
trip-
Or is that
You try to trip him right back down?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep him on the ground for sure.
Okay. Let's see if simultaneously that occurs. God, he has such a shitty. Oh, barely. He rolled just enough to avoid being reproned. Sorry, Mayman, what were you saying?
I can do non-lethal with a blunt, right?
Yes, you can.
Is that possible or
Do
no?
yeah, you can do it with the butt end of the flail.
Yeah, I clicked on that button when I rolled it. I think
Okay.
it just makes that little icon damage, but I just wanted to point it out. I try to knock him out.
Noted. That does strike. You do 24 points of non-lethal damage. He is still standing. He's not knocked out. So with that, he's actually going to I was going to give this to him. And the guy's like, the cure light wounds. But instead, he's going to go ahead and take it himself.
Oh, everyone's used their reactions though.
That's true. So he gets back 9 points of health. And that is his
Question: Does
Yeah.
does
your
my
what?
punishing stance,
Mhm.
the punishing stance, the extra 1d6 affect the non-lethal? I don't know.
Whew. Interesting question.
I'll pull the book. Hold on. I did this to
I would
myself.
say yes.
Did you include it in that roll, or would it be an extra one for you to roll on the chat if it was?
I did not, because I don't know how to add a 1d6 to a roll. So
Yeah, go ahead and roll out 1d6. I think you can put formulas in the damage formulas in the
Yeah.
melee attack.
Yeah, there's a at the top when you bring up your attack interface or your weapon interface at the top. There's a field to manually add attack modifiers and damage modifiers.
Yep. Oh, that's a lot of 1d6s. I'm going to go ahead and take the first one. All right, so you did do 2 additional points of damage, but it wouldn't have impacted it other than, yeah, he has 2 less points right now. Okay. Okay, that was his worthless turn. You were beating up on some of these guys pretty bad.
He didn't end up at 0 before he had the healing
Correct.
potion, right? Okay.
Yep,
He wouldn't
exactly.
have become disabled and then not be able to drink it.
Correctamundo. Now, this guy is still disabled. I undisabled him a little bit too quickly. Does he have any spells? As a final action that could heal him? No, he does not. And okay, he watches as Me-Man towers over him, and he just kind of begs out with his hands up, and he drops his dagger and goes, I give up. I give up. And he kind of takes a stance that is clearly not aggressive towards you, Me-Man. That is going to be his whole turn. Max, it is your turn.
Okay. How wide is this bookshelf?
Wide? They're like 3.5 feet wide.
Oh, okay. So no problem walking on top of them, right?
No, you don't even need a balance check. It's very
Alright.
easy.
So I move here. Ogres are 9 to 10 feet tall, so I'm imagining like I'm standing on top of this bookcase and his head is just bobbing above the top of this bookshelf over here.
Yes, I mean he's knocked over a bunch of them. They're
Yeah,
tilted, but yes, you can
Okay.
see like his shoulders and up.
As far as I know, there's nobody else upstairs, right?
I would think Manolfir would have yelled out strategically if he had seen anybody else. So I'd say no.
Okay.
The group is aware of no others.
Okay. I catch the ogre's eye. I'm imagining like as he's approaching the little desk here, he's kind of looking down at the book and trying to figure out what the hell to do with it. and he's looking back to me to see if he gets another command. And is that cool? Is that kosher?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's kosher.
And I look him right in the eye and I say, heal.
Okay.
Like, you know, come to my heel, right? Like,
Okay.
come back, right? The ones that he knocked over, are they the middle ones here, or was it more on this side that he knocked over?
This one over here
Okay.
is like partially tilted, and then this one over here is almost fully tilted towards this
Okay.
bookshelf.
All right. In that case, okay, I use 15 feet. Can I use 15 feet to come down to here?
Sure.
All right. So I'll be at ground level here. And that, from here, I'm going to take a potion as my action.
Okay.
That's it.
Which potion?
I'm just taking a cure.
Okay.
Light. So I'll roll it out and adjust it myself. Yeah.
All right. The ogre who's holding the book in his massive hand, it's like a small book compared to his hand, kind of like shrugs his shoulder and goes, and starts walking back towards you, Max, and ends up here. And he's kind of like, just like, like waiting for whatever you want him to do. He's just like hanging out, holding the book. Firadina, let's see. She still has Bothersome Babble on her for this final round. She would realize something's wrong from having taken damage before. She can't use any vocal skills, so what she's going to do is start pilfering through Sandiva's things. You watch as she starts just going through his pockets, his pouch, his pack, all of that stuff. That is her turn. Madolfir, you are still up on top. What are you doing?
I'm gonna superhero land, superhero jump land from jumping over the rail onto the top of one of the bookcases.
Okay, that will require a balance check. The DC is going to be 10 again to hop over and then perfectly land without toppling over the bookshelf. Okay. So as you jump off, feeling very confident from your acrobatics and killing of Sandiva, you land on top of the bookshelf. The bookshelf doesn't. Your balance is fine. The bookshelf is not. The bookshelf starts falling. You take 1d6 points of damage. So let me just go ahead.
No.
Oh, what do you got?
I've got boots.
Okay, go ahead and use them then.
Would that?
Let's see. With the boots.
Boots of land.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You can absorb the damage once per day.
Yep.
Okay. So even though the bookshelf falls, you like land on it fine without taking any damage. So you are down on the ground having used the boots to avoid the 5 points of damage that would have come.
I'm gonna recover instantly from my fall for the wording of the boots, and then I'm gonna look around and make sure no one saw me, and just kind of like keep walking like I'm playing it off, right? Like, oh, I meant to do that.
Did anybody see him?
Of course not. They're all concentrating on the wizard.
If the bookshelf wobbled, Max is standing right next to it. So GM's call. I don't know.
Mayman, from your position with that roll, you wouldn't have been able to see it. Max, go ahead and give me a spot.
Let me do a spot. Yeah, let me do a spot because my spot's real bad.
It's real bad.
I could get it. I could theoretically get it, not get it one. And I did.
But don't fear. Okay, your perform check against Max's spot is fine. He didn't notice. Landry, are you paying attention back there?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would probably notice, right?
Yeah, well, give me a spot check to see if you notice it.
Oh, sorry.
This, you would have to beat the 6 to notice. Okay. Landry, you do notice, but don't fear, like, trying to make a really slick move, like something that you would do, and not quite executing it to your level of capabilities.
I just laugh and say to myself, "Nice try. You'll get it one day."
I meant to do that.
All right, don't fear. That is your move. For the most part, your move. What else are you doing?
I guess the rest of my move to get closer to everybody.
Okay.
I'm going to let Faradina to her pilfering of the wizard.
Okay. You want to be standing next to Max or next to
Yeah, that's
Mayman? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. That is your turn. Lanray, it is back to you. You see that Varg is attacking this one still, who just took a potion. The other one is begging for his life. What are you doing?
I am actually going to. I guess I'm gonna shoot at the one that Varg is going after.
Okay. He is in melee combat against Varg. Are you taking a -4 penalty?
I have precise shot.
Oh, yeah.
so-
Thank you. You're right. I always
Yeah.
forget.
I guess I should probably do shot into melee and precise shot. I'll just select both. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter.
They pretty much negate each other, so you might as well not select either.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it pretty much wouldn't have mattered anyways. All three of those arrows do strike. The first two are, and these are arrows, so yeah. The first two strike. Let's see. So the first two take him down to 0. The third takes him down to -6. So he is fully unconscious and dying. As the arrows strike him, one strikes kind of just underneath his clavicle. What's up, Mayman?
My damage to him, that's a portion of that, is non-lethal. Does that not matter, or is he knocked out, or is he dying? Because a chunk of that is non-lethal damage that he took.
It was still damage that brought his HP down. So you could do something with 100 hit points, right? You could do 99 of it non-lethal, but if you then did one of it,
That's how it is in 5th edition, because all that matters is the last one. But in 3.5, that 20, whatever it was, 26, would have been something that is tracked separately, and it just determines whether he goes unconscious or not.
You are correct. Yeah, that is actually, you're absolutely correct about that judgment. So you did do the non-lethal damage from Lanray's attacks. He only will go unconscious because of that.
Cool.
Sorry, not unconscious. He is disabled, not unconscious.
No. When you're so if you're
you're right. When he takes it below 0, he goes unconscious, as opposed to dying.
It's when that's not it. It's when if your non-lethal would take you below 0, then instead of dying, you are instead, yeah. That's why there's a separate field on the character sheet to track it, because then you can be like, if the actual HP is ever less than the non-lethal damage taken, then he goes unconscious.
Yeah.
And he can't heal non-lethal damage is the other piece, because it's not actual hit point damage.
Correct. Yep. So he is unconscious and helpless, but he is not dying. So he's not losing HP at this point. Okay. So that is your turn, Lanray, as you strike him with the arrows. They are enough to kind of overwhelm him, but he's not like continuing bleeding. Do you want to take a swift action at all?
I'll just step into the room. I'll take a 5-foot step.
Okay. Is Varg doing anything to the unconscious being, or the one who is begging for his life?
Um, let's see. Would Varg pick up the fact that Neiman did non-lethal attack for a reason?
Nah, he's a smart boy.
But the other one's still conscious. This one is not conscious anymore.
Correct. Yes, this one is unconscious and helpless. So to Varg, like, it'd be like playing dead to Varg.
Yeah, so he's going to go attack the one that's still conscious.
Okay. Yeah, I would figure he would continue to attack beings who were trying to attack them. He is successful in attacking this one, who is taken down now to -6 health. So he is unconscious, dying, and helpless at this point.
So just to add salt to the wound, I'm going to trip him. And if
Okay. Well, he's
disabled,
helpless, so
then, yeah, he can't do anything about it.
he can't do anything about it. Yep.
He's already on the ground, I think.
Oh, was he?
When he was at 0, technically he wasn't on the ground. Once you're disabled, you're not on the ground necessarily.
Yeah, disabled just means that you cannot, like, if you take a standard action, you lose an HP.
If
and you can only
he
move.
is dead, he is not standing dead. He
True.
would have fallen.
Yes. On the attack, he pretty much automatically would have fallen, which is why a trip tack would be automatic here.
I'm like imagining in a video game when you kill something and it stays standing up but like is dead. It's hilarious.
Sure, like Shogun style.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Then that is Varg's turn. It is Me-Man's turn. Is there anything you want to do to this clearly dying and bleeding out person?
I'm going to take him and toss him on my shoulder like a sack to take him in the room because I want to talk to him. So I don't think he needs the unconscious one. Yeah.
Okay, not the one who's dying. Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, Mayman's not looking to save lives. He's looking to get information.
Yeah, sounds good. So you want to drag him back over to the library where the rest of the people are?
Well, something like that. I want to throw him on my shoulder and just like walk into the room and like plop him on a table, wherever there's a table, and say like, I figured we could talk to this one.
Okay. That is accomplished. I'm going to go ahead and take down the encounter because nothing's really able to attack you guys. With that, Mayman, you do plop this guy onto this table. He is still unconscious, keep in mind. So you would have to revive him in some way. The rest of you see Mayman put him on the table. So what do you guys want to do? This guy's just dying back here, by the way. Is Varg continuing to just chew on his leg?
That going for that fresh blood.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me another attack to see if it happens this turn then. The rest of you, go ahead and tell me. Yeah, he comes back with a femur, basically. He rips his leg off.
No, his throat. He's going at his throat.
Okay.
He likes that freshly oxygenated blood.
Okay. He returns back to the room with a nice snack that he's kind of chewing on the ground.
You should
I'm going to take this opportunity to look for arrows.
Okay, go ahead and give me yeah, go ahead and roll for that. What were you saying, Meeman?
I put it in chat. I'm just saying that we just need we should grab the other two and throw them down here as well. We don't know anything about them in case they're doppelgangers or whatever. I was just going to say, let's just bring the bodies in here.
Okay. Mayman, roll me 1d100 6 times. So
or
16.
did you mean Lanray?
Yeah. Sorry, Lanray.
Yeah.
Okay. So with the unconscious body, the rest of you.
What's going on?
Hey man, you want to explain?
So the unconscious body is sitting on a table with me over top of him. I've asked for the two other bodies to be brought here as well so that we can just check them out. I have no experience with doppelgangers. So I was like, they might be doppelgangers.
Oh,
so that's the
yeah.
whole.
Can I take the book from the ogre's hand and then ask him to carry the bodies or help carry the body with whoever else is doing and stuff?
Sure.
And
Between the ogre
Medolfo will grab Sandiva since he's closer to Sandiva.
Okay. As you do so, you notice Faradina has taken a book of some sort from Sandiva, as well as her wand back. She's like, huh, well, I think turnaround is fair play. And she takes both of those things.
So 3 rounds is over, so she's back to talking, right?
Yes, that was the last round that she was in effect of the Boston battle prior.
I'll make it over there and be like, hey, how you doing?
Much better now that I can actually speak.
Okay. Find anything good on the body there?
I did get his spell book.
Nice.
I suppose we can share whatever spells he was aware of at a later point.
Yeah, when we have some downtime. I would have tried to counter that or counteract that spell that he put on you, but I never really I don't know how to do that.
Indeed. It's funny that you've gone into this battling out in the world when, Me-Man, as you rifle through the unconscious mage's stuff, you also find a spell book on him. You kind of like, what do you do with the spell book?
My goal is to keep it away from him. I just don't want him to, like, when we revive him, to have stuff. So I'm taking anything that could possibly be a weapon. I don't need a spell book. I would happily give it to whoever wants it, but I just don't want any wands, potions, rings, anything magical from him is going to be pulled off.
Okay. You do pull off a potion of bark skin. I shouldn't have said that. Whatever, that's fine. You pull out a potion from him.
How about this? Max comes over and does a spellcraft check and tells you it's a
that's fine.
GM's problem is solved.
And then there is a second potion also that you find on him as well.
I mean, let's be honest. They probably label their potions. They don't just randomly have like 4 vials and then they get in the middle of battle and they're like, which one was the red one, right? There's probably like a bark skin here, right?
I can appreciate that. Thank you. I will just put that in. Okay, there we go. Beyond that, you find a signet ring of some sort. Are you taking that ring?
I don't know what it. I don't want him to have it. I will take the potion, if nothing else. But I don't need the ring. I don't know. I'll give that to Max to figure out what it is. I don't know what it is.
Okay, Max, I will put that in your inventory.
Just throw everything into the bag of holding instead, not my inventory.
Okay, the stuff in Max's bag of holding inventory.
Yeah,
Got it. Okay, the signet rings in there, and then there's also his spell book, Max. Are you taking that, or are you putting that in that bag of holding?
Just put everything in the bag of holding, and I'll pull it out.
Got it.
That way, yeah.
Okay, are you pilfering the dead ones items also?
I think what Meeman is saying, or was it? Yeah, Meeman was saying was like he's just stripping these guys. Like doesn't care if it's magical or not, right? You don't.
Yep. This one has a dagger. I will throw that into the bag of holding. What else? Let's see. Faradina does find another one of her wands in the goods and says, Max and the rest of you, do you mind handing me back my other wand as well?
Who had it?
It's still on the dead body, so as long as you guys are okay with it, she would take back her wand, unless anybody objects. Okay. There's another signet ring. So in total, you find 3 signet rings on these guys. They all match. So potentially something about that. Hold 1 second. Okay. And then finally,
it's the crest of House Slytherin, is what it is.
Indeed. There is a symbol of a hand on the signet ring as kind of the emblem on it.
There's 3 of them?
There are 3 of them. Each one of them had one.
Okay.
It took a while to find the 3rd one because it was actually on the lopped off arm that Medolfir chopped off. And then finally, there is a 3rd spell book from this one. And I will add that to the bag of holding as well. In fact, I will add Sandiva's spellbook in there as well, since Firidina said that she would share it with you and you guys would figure it out at a later point. So with that, Max, you do recognize these 3 mages. They are all in the necromancy school. They are majors in necromancy, unlike you. They have a focus solely in necromancy. One is Sandiva, the drow. The other is Frederick Wayne. Who is a middling sort of wizard of not really any discernible skill that you've encountered before. And lastly is Baker Daig. A little bit of a stronger mage, more capable. You used to speak with him a lot more before he started hanging around Sandiva. And before you went on your adventuring ways for the past year. So those are the characters. Baker Daig is the one who's unconscious and on the table.
All right. GM, while we're messing around in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
You know how like in I don't know, 1500s, 1400s, people used to hang like pheasants and stuff from a branch for a while before cooking them?
Sure.
Max reaches into the bag of holding, finds something, kind of grabs hold of it, and yanks, ripping Ivandir's arm off. Pulling it out of the bag. Is that okay? Can I have done that?
Yes. Ivandir, you took his whole body, not just his head, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's 50 pounds.
Okay.
In the bag of holding.
Yep.
So if he's been in there a while, so I imagine it's going to be crazy difficult to rip it apart.
Yep, it's definitely gone funky.
I pull it out and I give it to the ogre, and I say, "Here's a snack for you." And I take that book that he was holding back.
Okay, you do so. You have to kind of get up on his shoe, his like weird leathery shoe, to grab the book. He's just so tall, but he does hand it over, and then he takes the gnome arm, which in his hands is tiny. Like the gnome arm itself is about the size of his hand.
Yeah.
So he kind of takes it and he like crunches on it like a little snack.
So out of the 50 pounds of Ivandir, how many pounds is the arm, you think?
I would say you still have 45 pounds left.
Okay. I love this. All right.
All right.
That's all.
The rest of you, as Max feeds his pet ogre. Yeah, what are you doing with this unconscious being that you didn't kill? He is unarmed.
I could give him a potion to wake him up once we've got him tied down.
Sure, who wants to use rope to do so? Max is, after all, a necromancer to some extent.
Minor. Minoring in necromancy, yes. Max has on downtime, like at camp and stuff. He's multiple times gone off on a rant about how actually enchantment is much worse than necromancy, and therefore he doesn't really feel bad at all about minoring in necromancy.
Fair.
Yeah, I mean, I can trying to see if I have rope.
Yeah, we got a whole lot of rope in the bag of holding.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I think you guys transferred it all over to the bag of holding.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's like 300 feet of hempen rope in the bag of holding.
I guess I'll just try.
There's also a ladder in there still.
Yeah.
There is a chair.
No, I pulled the ladder out.
Yeah, there's still a ladder in there, and you pulled it out and left it at the Shadowwake. So, Lanred, there is a chair over here. There's other chairs around the room if you want to get a chair out before using the rope.
Yeah, I'll say let's prop him up in the chair and tie him down.
Okay, who's attempting the rope check? Who's leading the rope
I can
check?
do it. I have decent rope check.
Okay. And anybody who wants to assist him, feel free. You guys are like checking the knots. Okay. You do a pretty good job on your own getting him tied down. I mean, it's an unconscious body, so it's not very hard. And with everyone else's assistance, you guys make sure that it's like double knotted at every point. His hands specifically, Max, you assist with making sure to hold down his hands so that he wouldn't be able to cast any kind of somatic.
Yeah, I feel like mine is like, oh, we wanna lace the rope like up and down through each finger so that he can't wiggle those things, stuff like that.
Mayman, even though you've never seen rope before, having wandered the Shadow Plane where evidently they have no rope, you are able to assist.
Varg is
Hey,
just
GM.
and playing with the rope.
Yes, Varg is actually like tugging at the loose end of the rope. What's up, Max?
So GM, there's one ladder in the bag of holding. Is that the one that we got?
You used
we used it again? Okay, so I can delete that.
You should delete that, yeah.
All right, cool.
You used it in the dungeon space of Shadowwake.
Cool.
All right, so this guy is fully tied up and still unconscious. Somehow not roughed up by all of this.
So wait, we were coming in here though. We were where were we trying to get the necromancy archmage's quarters or one of the other ones?
Right now, Max is holding the book that would lead to the necromancy chambers itself.
But I'm saying was that our goal coming in here was to get to that archmage's quarters or a different archmage's quarters? Does anyone know?
The goal was that I knew that in the library would be teleports to wherever it is we were trying to go.
We were going to the necromancy archmage's quarters. Was
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Max, when they say the necromancy archmage and they kind of are implying bad, how do you feel? I mean, part of this is just because the perception of necromancy is not great.
Yeah.
And this is a person who taught you a lot.
Yeah, and you mentioned that even when he demonstrated evil spells, he did it in a very controlled environment and then immediately dispelled it away.
Yes, you recall one specific occurrence where he was animating some dead flesh, and he was showing it in a way where it's very educational. Like you see how the dead flesh reacts to this spell, and somebody was like, "So we can use this to raise old family members and things like that." And he immediately shut that down and was like, "You shouldn't use this for personal gain."
So I'm getting Snape vibes, right? Like he was teaching defense against the dark arts, kind of.
Certainly, his exterior positioning was that he was teaching you guys the elements of necromancy educationally. Yes.
I tried. Okay, so Max says, yeah. Okay, so yes, he could be a bad guy, but here's the deal. I've never seen him act that way, and I've dealt with him much more than some of the other archmages here at the university. So I'm not 100% sure. Yeah.
Ferdina kind of steps in and is like, Max, I appreciate your fondness with him, but I mean, the evidence is overwhelmingly against him, and I've got to say, he's always kind of given me the creeps. I mean, Darback's not really the most friendly of persons to ask questions of. He's always kind of had. I've always felt he's always been a bit standoffish to any questions or approaching.
I want to say to her, I want to say, yeah, I think part of that is that he's afraid of accidentally giving dangerous knowledge to people that he knows because of like necessity, but that he might not necessarily want to use it. But I take your point. It is possible that I have completely missed it. I'm not exactly that insightful on what motivates people. So, yes, we should go into this carefully.
Yes,
for sure.
Well, who's going to do the interrogation?
Can I try to do a heal check, or is that not going to heal this guy in any way?
No, I think it does. Let me check. Heal check.
I think this mundane heal check stabilizes. I don't think it increases HP gain from resting, but I don't think it instantly heals.
Yeah.
I have 1 cure minor wounds to heal 1 hit point.
Oh, you have a minor?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, use that one because I have some lights. I can give you. All right, GM. Is that Mayman that said that?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Mayman, I'll hand Mayman a cure moderate wounds.
Okay.
I have 2, so I'll reduce mine to 1, and then you can just copy it over into his inventory, and then you can use the minor on this guy. So yeah, copy my moderate from my handy haversack into Mayman's inventory.
Can do if I find it.
It's about halfway. It's just above the scrolls. Yeah, I keep things very organized.
So Mayman, you have his extra cure moderate wounds now with you, and with that, you feed this down his unconscious throat, and he does start blinking. He is just barely recovered, and he kind of like goes, what? What do you want from me, Max? And he kind of sees Max behind Mayman and Medolfir.
As he starts talking, I wanna. What's the right word? I want to hold an action, right?
Sure.
So, and in case he starts trying to cast something with verbal only components.
You do notice he's like wiggling his fingers, but he's like clearly not able to move his hands. You know that he is not able to do anything somatic with his fingers at this point for sure.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's got any verbal only. So
sure.
I say if you want to keep those knuckles of yours intact, stop wiggling your fingers, and you better not try to cast anything.
Okay. While you're doing that, both Mayman and Medolfir essentially are strong arming him, per the chat. Let's see, with that intimidate check, let me roll. Oh, he rolled a natural 4. Yeah, he's clearly in a panic of like straight up fear at this point. Max, for what it's worth, you're
no. Max, while Mayman is doing the intimidate, Max is just standing behind Mayman, kind of like sticking his head through like underneath his like armpit or something, and being like, "Yeah, you better watch out."
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, you are still in the trend form, so.
Oh yeah, for another 20-something minutes for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he wouldn't have recognized me.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Although I would say in your trend form, you still have an orange afro.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. That totally checks out.
So, he is almost in a fear-stricken state, and he goes, I, I I am clearly bested here, but
Who's
I
in
ask
charge?
that you... Max, I think you know who's in charge.
I need to hear you say it.
It's Dawback, Max.
Okay, that's the Archmage, right? I keep forgetting.
Yes.
Okay.
And he goes, he's very powerful. His power is intoxicating. And I couldn't help but wish to have similar power as him. He promised us. And he falls
No,
down.
the desk, not him.
Oh, okay. I thought the chair.
No, the desk.
You kick the desk, and he goes, he promised us that we would be made archmages of the new Planetum after his plans were complete.
Why should we keep you alive?
I suppose there's no way that I can prove that I'm no longer a threat. If I were you, I too would kill me. I'd rather die at your hands than be tortured at his.
I will ask, what else can you tell us about this plan? Why is he doing this?
He would not divulge much to us. We were his most loyal. There was always someone else he was more loyal with. I'm not quite sure who it was, but there was always a presence that was around with him, watching at all times, perhaps, even talking. At first, we thought he was mad, that he was talking to himself, but we started hearing. The more we gave ourselves over to him, the more we would hear the other voice. He's very charismatic, and still I feel a loyalty towards him, despite giving him up now. I only give him up now because I know there's nothing you can really do about it. He's too powerful for you, Max, and your group.
Was that a woman's voice?
There was a woman's laughter. And as he says that, you all kind of hear just the softest laughter from the walls of the library. She's here with us now.
So, hold on. Where did the it just came from the walls?
It's just like emanating. And as quickly as it came, it kind of dies off. You see what you're up against. But go on. Go into his chambers. I'm sure he's wanting to see you. He's been wanting to see you for a long time, Max.
Do with him what you will. I tell Naaman or whoever is standing around.
Okay. Adolphir, Maimon as the two more brutish in the group. What do you take that to mean? Or Lanray?
Say it again. What did he say?
I basically indicate that like I don't really care about this guy, and you guys can do whatever you want with him.
I will grab his head and smash it into a wall, which I think is still non-lethal. But that's what I'll
Okay.
do.
Go ahead and just give me a melee attack, and that's going to be 1d3 plus your strength, I believe, of non-lethal. Yeah, that's definitely going to strike him since he's pretty much helpless. So he's sitting in this chair. You just grab his head and just smash it against the wall. So give me 1d3 plus your strength, which is, I think, plus 6. So close. One day the syntax will come. There we go. Okay. Yeah, you knock him back out unconscious again with non-lethal damage.
So Mandolfer's gonna just say to the group, the ancient magic guys are here. I assume they're probably out in the fight going on outside the walls. Should we go try to see if we can get any of them to come along with us before we go see this mage?
Max takes the sending stone out and passes it to Midolfir. I'll keep it in my inventory, but yeah.
Okay. Midolfir, you have the sending stone. Do you wish to speak through it?
Yep.
Okay.
We're inside. Are you still fighting outside?
From the other end, you hear Jameson's voice. He responds, "The battle is won. There were hordes of undead beings guarding the doors outside of the Planetum. Dozens. Whatever sent all these beings from the nearest cemeteries and burials, I'm not sure, but we've taken care of the undead trolls that were conjured. The skeletons lay around us. We do not believe there are any other threats on the exterior. We've lost a few, but our numbers are still strong."
Then let us take this fight to the person who is responsible. Come inside and meet us in the library.
Okay. Do you guys hang around the library and wait for the groups to come in?
Hey.
Yeah.
What's up, Mayman?
Can I roll? What is it? Knowledge Marshal? Whatever that is. This seems like a distraction. I don't know, but I would, if I
Sure.
could just see if that's the right way that the battle's going.
Yeah, give me that.
You have a mechanical thing for tactics? I love it.
Yeah. Does
What's
indeed.
the name of that skill? Isn't it like Knowledge Marshal?
Knowledge? I think you have it in there. It is Martial Lore. It's at the very bottom. Generally used in a battle, but I would say with that roll, you feel unease. I mean, part of it is the fact that you're in this place, this magical place that is so strange to most of you who fight with a sword and weapon. And yet there's still that nagging feeling, the laughing, the cackling. It almost felt like being toyed with. You feel like you're being toyed with. Regardless of that role, that is your sense right now.
Holy shit, I got something like that too.
Yeah?
I got
What's yours?
Archivist gives you dark knowledge tactics.
Okay, yeah, feel free.
I
think that's done with arcane, knowledge arcana. Check.
No, it's a dungeon. It's I think you do the knowledge for the creature type that you would normally do, but
Okay.
instead of just getting information, you can grant a plus to attack rolls made against that target.
Okay, so it's like an anti-feint almost.
Yeah, but it lasts. It doesn't say how long it lasts. It's not like encounter.
Give me a knowledge.
So if I know, okay, let's play it like this, right? Like humans are normal, like they're humanoid, so it would be local based on this. Okay, and then I know this guy specifically, right? Like I know this archmage.
You know Baker, yep.
Yeah,
and you do know Darbeck, yeah.
So instead of this being about like the race, human or whatever he is, this is more about like this individual, right?
His tendencies, maybe his motives. Sure. Okay, same roll.
Boo. Oh well.
Max, the only thing you gain from all of this is if this is a powerful being able to raise armies of undead, whoever this is or whomever these are that are doing this, that using this book to go into their chambers feels, I mean, yes, you guys did just take out a group of undead beings inside of here and 3 mages. It feels still a little too easy for such a powerful being to rely on just that.
Hey, can I, so Mayman does say, I think the Planetum is a distraction. I think the whole point was to save the king, right?
Oh.
Overall, yes.
Can we leave whatever this guy's name is to the Acer Magica so the magicians can fight the magicians, and then we can actually go to the palace where, what's her name is, right?
There have been a series of traps that you guys have triggered off. The tree, the garden.
And they didn't, those traps didn't seem like they were set up to actually protect anything. They were just there to like cause us havoc.
Yeah, to some extent. They weren't really, from what you found, they didn't lead to anything.
Like the tree didn't, like if we hadn't hit that tree, nothing would have happened. Right?
Yeah, but the thing is all of these things are keeping us away from the palace. We went to the sewers to see what was going on, but really Veladrake threatened the king, and she said, I'm going to, like, whatever, she was going to take over the palace. It wasn't like, I'm going to take over the planet. She said she didn't threaten anything else. She said she's getting married in the palace. And that's the one place we're not, right?
So
you can consult that invitation that you have.
Yeah, Omid does not remember any of this, so I'm going to trust you, my man. Yeah.
Reread what's on that invitation because it was kind of cryptic. There was a.
Is it in the inventory somewhere? I forget.
I don't know. GM, didn't you pin the message somewhere? I thought you did.
I think Max has it.
Yeah, the problem with it was the date was weird on it, from what I remember. But
yeah, wedding invitation. Here, I'll read it out. All right. You are cordially invited to the matrimonial ceremony of Lord Endrick Fangstan Calais and Lady Daria Veladrake within the glory of the palace throne room. And then there's numbers, and then underneath that it says that's a tree grows from generations past.
Yeah, but there was a date on there too.
Yeah, 04/31/19. I think we figured that part of it out, didn't we? It was like the years that different people were born or something like that.
It's like 5 years ago from 2 days from now.
Is that right?
It was for sure that you guys did determine that it was not a real date because that date doesn't exist in that month.
Yeah, but No, but we figured out like we figured out like the numbers related to something.
I don't remember figuring the numbers out. I just remember us figuring out that we couldn't figure out the numbers.
No. I remember. Okay, so that's okay. Those numbers are on the wedding invitation. When we were at the graveyard, the headstones had year numbers or something that lined up with the numbers on the invitation card.
That's correct. There were 2 sets of gravestones that you guys found. One of the sets of gravestones had various members of the Veladrake family. The other also, specifically on one side, the years of death, the final 2 digits of the years of death, aligned to the gravestones. You guys saw 2 trees behind each set of gravestones, so you attacked the one where the numbers didn't align and it exploded.
Okay, so I'm gonna over the sending stone. I'm gonna tell him, scratch that. Meet us in the courtyard, and then I say we all come together and then head towards the I don't know. I'm losing them. I'm going blank on the word. The palace. Head towards the palace. Yes? No?
Yeah, as long as the Acer Magic guys take care of what's his name, Darback or whatever this guy's name is.
Or come with us so we have a little extra magic.
Yeah, Darback will show up. If his Veladrake is under threat, Darback will show up with her unless we take care of him. But I don't think we need to take care of him. I think the Acer Magic guys need to take care of him. That's kind of my thought.
So which of these are you guys agreeing to say to the it's not just the Acer Magic, you guys. Remember, there are some art level of archmages and others beings who were protecting the Planetum outside that are coming in now.
I mean, one would assume the other archmages, right?
Yeah, I'd say speaking of which, at this point, since you guys were telling them to come in anyways, at this point, you would see Max, Archivist Caldina Fantor, Archmage Hollymore, Archmage Cordillus, Archmage Sylvatus, and Archmage Tyron Paul all arrive. I'll give you a copy paste of all that. Hold on 1 second.
Okay, Max. So just these guys walked in. Is Darius and the other guy still not here?
As you watch through the ranks, you do see Darius and Jameson both appearing from behind the archmages, who are kind of leading the way through the Planetum.
Okay.
You notice Darius and Jameson are kind of just looking about at all the like over the top magical arcane splendor.
Okay. I look at them all and I say the Archmage of Necromancy has betrayed the Planetum and the city. And the king. GM, would I know if there's any books here that would take us towards the palace? Or is that specifically not allowed because of the wards and all that?
Yeah, there's no books in here that would do that. Only within the Planetum themselves is the intent of these books.
Okay.
The archmages erupt into sort of conversation. Hollymoore's like, I've never trusted him. I told you, you old fools, that he was a betrayer. Look what's happened now. He sent out Archmage Molokotis to who knows where, and we are short in numbers now.
Which is divination? It's Cordelius?
Yes.
And okay. While Okay.
Mayman and Medolfir, you two are whispering together while Max is having this conversation. Does anybody blurt out anything?
I also whispered that to Faradina as well, by the way.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it out loud. I said the other issue at hand is there's doppelgangers in the Planetum that have taken on the shape and form of the other mages.
While you say that, Max is going to cast his second preparation of Detect Magic
Okay.
and scan. Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
In the middle of a bunch of archmages.
Yeah, no, it's not going to work, is it? Okay. Never mind.
I think it's like true seeing. This is the only way to really find out a doppelganger. Ain't crap that we can do, right? So if these are truly archmages, we should mention it, and they will at least know that that's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, most archmages are going to be wearing so much magical stuff on them that it's just going to be like looking into a bright light of magic. You would pick up different kinds of things, but it wouldn't necessarily tell you anything in particular.
I'm not doing it.
You do mention this to Faradina. Faradina kind of looks all the archmages and archivists and the others who have come in. All the archmages wear a very specific robe, as does the archivist. And it's like got a high turtleneck, and it's in like the robe itself has the hood portion that comes almost up to the cheeks before it becomes the hood that goes over the heads. Only Archmage Cordelius wears anything different than that, and it's just that he has that robe, but also like a archetypal wizard's hat, like flopping over, kind of like the sorting hat from Harry Potter.
Okay, so enough of subterfuge. I'm just going to say out loud. We came across a doppelganger earlier in this fight who had a fresh neck wound. Would y'all be willing to pull your tops of your dress shirts down to reveal your throat to see if any of y'all have a fresh scar?
Or would you have a way of detecting doppelgangers that you could share?
Well, certainly, and this is Hollymore speaking at this point. Certainly, if we were able to sit everyone down, I could interrogate and confirm. Otherwise, true seeing, and she kind of looks over towards Silvidius and says, we could attempt that, but of course, it would take a long time to go through every single being. And you notice behind, like the doors to the main hall are still open. There's other like students and beings returning back into the Planetum at this point, kind of searching out, returning to their quarters, seeing kind of the havoc that's occurred. Sorry, not Silvinus. It would have been Cordelius that she looks at regarding the true seeing. We can certainly begin that process, but it wouldn't be an instantaneous one. And by the time we perhaps look through it, they may be able to find other means to hide this clue.
Well, just saying it because you could have dangers from within.
Okay.
Other than the necromancer archmage.
Max, as you mentioned the ogre, by the way, the ogre like sits up. It's like sitting in the corner, like trying to read a book stupidly, but just chewing on it instead. It like sits up when it hears ogre and hears your voice, and the rest of them are like kind of panicked until you explain what's going on.
Yeah,
like, whoa, hold on.
Yeah,
I've called him Bob now, and then I point to the guy that we knocked out. And I point out that, okay, that one over there, not dead. He's just knocked out. If you want to interrogate him further, you can. He basically confirmed to us that the Archmage is the one in control.
Okay. This time, Archmage Silvidius does speak out. We will put arcane manacles on him, and he removes arcane manacles from his bag of holding and starts putting those on his hands. And we'll be sure to put him in a room with protections against all types of magic to interrogate him.
Okay, so we put the rope back in the bag of holding, so I don't have to mess with inventory. Cool.
Yep.
All right. So we suspect that the king is in danger. Is there a quick way we can get there to help?
There's no means of teleporting to the Citadel, Max. You know that they have.
Is there a emergency tunnel? Is there some mundane way that we could get there to lend assistance?
No, in the
Can we
agreement.
send a message?
In the agreement we had several decades past, the Planetum assisted in the creation of the wards, and all backdoor means of accessing the Citadel were removed as part of the agreement of independence from the Citadel. Unfortunately, there is no other means to go directly into the Citadel other than on foot, or either that or teleporting directly to the front gate of the Citadel. I can take you to the gates, but I can't get you within the castle.
That might have to be enough, right, guys?
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Hold on. So Max, I have a question.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
The sending spell, right? The target is one creature, within the same plane of existence. It's automatic, right?
Yeah.
But like, if I just think the king, would that work? Or do I need to have? I think it just works, right?
As long as you're familiar with the person, it works. So the king you're familiar with. You had conversations with them, so yeah, it would work.
Okay. Let me see here.
And it would also actually work in another plane. There's just a chance of failure.
Yeah. I have 2 scrolls of sending.
Okay.
That I got from Tobias. Of Acer Magica. Oh, Jameson. This Jameson.
Not the dead one. Yep.
Yeah. And I'll cast it in 25 words, right? Any help, guys? What should I tell the king?
Yeah, anybody could take lead on that.
We just need to craft the message so I can send it. I don't know.
Prepare your strongest defenses against magic and hunker down. We've already spoken with him. We've already made him aware, right? The plot.
And they had his own personal mages and beings within the Citadel had begun fortifying down that his movements themselves were going to be restricted to the most defensible portions of the castle. And he had sent out, obviously, parts of the city guard to snuff out the underground sewers. You guys went to the aquifer. So yeah, he's aware of all this and is taking action.
Okay. We didn't tell him about the doppelgangers, did we?
Tell the king about the doppelganger? No. And just keep in mind, you guys don't have 100% proof it was specifically a doppelganger. That is from context from your past experiences with doppelgangers, what you believe.
No, but we did bring up doppelgangers, right? That we know there's been doppelgangers around.
You did bring up the one that was in
Greggins or whatever.
Yes. Yeah, Greggins.
Okay, so we mentioned it so that they would know to be on the guard for magically transformed visages. Okay. All right. Is it worth me even sending a scroll, or I don't know? What should I do, guys?
There were a lot of loud explosions, right? I'm pretty sure they realize that there's something going on.
All right, let's just go then. Yeah. Okay.
Look, these
I'm-
are archmages, right? They've clearly talked to the king.
Yeah.
They probably know the spell anyways. Why don't we just tell them to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Get us to the palace gates and inform the king of the details of the danger, so that he can order what's necessary.
Okay.
Please,
Sylvidus
first,
agrees
please.
to this. Sylvidus says, I can teleport, and he counts out. Let's see, the ogre will be difficult, but and Ferradina says, I will. She's going to stay in the Planetum, assist as needed. So let's see, you got 4 of you guys plus Bard plus Meldo. Max, you also have the partially hidden Hydra baby, and then the ogre. So the Archmage is essentially able to take everybody but the ogre, or he could do this as 2 trips. Which do you prefer?
I don't.
I mean,
Plus Darius
like-
and Jameson.
The Hydra doesn't count, does it? Because it's like in a It's like in a sack on my body, isn't it?
Yeah, but it still counts as a living being, just like Meldo.
All right.
It's a small living being.
All right. So I. Okay. Here's what I do. Would that make the difference with Bob being able to come with us?
Yes, but either way, Darius and Jameson would still have to go in a second group.
Oh,
You
I
would
thought
just
they were.
barely be able
I
to
thought
get
that-
Bob in.
Yeah, I thought Darius and Jameson weren't going to come with us anyway. Is that right, guys?
Okay.
Am I wrong?
no, let's bring everybody that can. If we need to make multiple teleports, then make multiple teleports.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
So if we need to do multiple, then let's just take everybody. Yeah.
Okay. So the ogre's going to stick with you, Max, regardless.
Yeah. I gotta
just
maintain
wait for
control
this?
on them. So
You want to just wait for the second group?
yeah, I'll go with the Meiji guys. I'll go with like Jameson and yeah, we'll all go together.
Sylvidius kind of pulls the rest of you towards him, other than Max. Come now, come. He's kind of a goofy guy with this odd visage, very scruffy with mutton chops. He pulls you all in and he says, Max and the rest of you, I will be back shortly. And he looks over to Hollymore. In my absence, begin the preparations to sweep through Darbak's personal chambers, as well as the morgue of the Planetum and the Necromancy Hall. Begin sweeping through there, and I will be returning back to join you. Varg finds a piece of jerky in the robe of the wizard.
Love it.
Okay. Don't or keep him from stealing the piece of jerky from the robes.
Okay.
The wizards.
Poof! You guys disappear into a cloud. You appear again. This guy is very familiar with it. In front of the gates of the Citadel. You are on the southwest corner of the Citadel. Just pulling you over to the map. You all are there. 18. So that would be Landray, Medolfir, Mayman, Meldo, and Varg. The wizard appears and looks out down the street. He sees various city guards fighting with beings, but generally the action seems to be under control. Just some loose skeletons that got away from the fight at the Planetum, but for the most part, the Planetum was the focal point of the battle. As you look into the Citadel itself, its gates are closed, and there are a set of guards only on top of the walls. The normal guards that are down below, standing at the open gate, are gone. And the Archmage kind of yells up, "Oh, you there! It's Archmage Sylvidus from the Planetum, and I have personage who need to speak with the king. The king is awaiting them. And the guards kind of look down. And they say, hold on. Give us a moment. We're on lockdown. The Archmage kind of looks at the rest of you guys and says, I'm going to return back for the rest of the group. Just stand here and hopefully they'll open the gate shortly.
Okay, I'm gonna look around real quick to the little patches of groups fighting. Do we see anyone that we know, like Corvus Thane, or anyone?
No, you don't see Corus Thane. You do see some sort of Navy officers fighting off from in front of a warehouse down the hill. Not far from where the Boneyard battle was that you guys were in. But they have control of this skeleton. They're like surrounding the skeleton, trying to figure out a way to get through its damage reduction but beating it down essentially by just, surrounding it. Nobody that you recognize from this distance. The Archmage does. Yep, go ahead.
I was gonna say any fights where it looks like they're being overpowered.
No,
where
you can
the
see.
city guard. Okay.
Hold one moment. He disappears again. Max and the Acer Magica guys, the Archmage Sylvatus does return back to you, smiling.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Another successful trip. He looks to you. Are you ready to also go?
Yep.
Okay.
Can I hold an action through the teleport?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah, I start kind of thinking of a spell, but I'm concentrating through the teleport. Yeah.
Noted. He gathers you and he kind of like clears his throat. And your ogre friend Bob, can you tell him to also gather close?
I say heal. Bob comes over next to me.
The ogre kind of goes, and he kind of gets down on a knee just so that it can all be huddled together. And once again, poof, you all disappear and instantaneously reappear next to Medolfir, within only a few feet of Medolfir. Like, this guy is very exact in his positioning. What are you messaging?
I'm casting message on everyone that's going to be staying here. So Bob, Varg, all the PCs, Darius, Jameson. I think that's it, right? Oh, my Hydra, just in case, because I can do 9. Yeah.
Okay, that works. I think you could actually do 10.
No,
10.
No. So my wizard level is 9 because the first level,
yes.
I lost a level there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, you do cast message. All of you are able to sort of just like point at each other, and whatever you whisper, the other person hears perfectly.
For like an hour and a half, so we should have time.
The Archmage goes, Max, if there's nothing else that you need from me, and he looks up at the guards, unless you need me to be more forceful with the guards and tell them to let you through.
Yeah.
Do you need that from me?
Yeah.
Let's see what the guard says when he comes back.
Yeah, but the Archmage is going to leave before that, so...
Hold one moment. You there up on the wall, I demand that you open this gate. We have subdued the evil that has been in the streets, and these gentlemen need to speak to the king about dire matters. And then you see him casting something. I don't like doing this, but... and he does cast it. Yep, that'll work. The guard goes, oh, right away, sir, right away. And he starts lifting the gate. And the Archmage kind of winks at Max. See, I've learned a few tricks from Hollymore also.
Of course, sir. And good luck with the Archmage of Necromancy.
I'll report back, hopefully. Thank you for your service today at the Planetum Max. stay out of our chambers. And he poof.
Before he goes, can I ask him to keep an eye on whatever her name was?
Faradina?
Yeah. She's been through a lot today.
Understood. And I'll also keep out an eye for any doppelgangers.
Yes.
Ooh, good day. Poof. The gate is open. You all are able to walk through. You notice that the guard at the top is kind of in a stupor as the other guard walks up and goes, "Why is the gate open?" What? I mean, it should be open because they have approved the gate to be open, but why is the gate open already? And you guys notice they're kind of arguing, but the gate is open.
Yeah, I'm just going to let them argue. Let's go, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll walk with Mendolfir and just be like, let's go.
Okay. Kind of in wrap up of this session, you guys do make it to the castle. Again, there's a set of guards who are expecting your arrival. They were told by the guard at the gate to allow you through. You have been seen by these guards before, so they're not unfamiliar with you. It was only a day ago. You guys are able to make into the halls. Where are you going? You are being escorted by the guards, and they ask, "You wish to speak to the king?"
Yes, there's danger. We tried, as we're walking and talking, we explained the situation with Planetum and how we think it's a distraction and how the king is probably in danger.
Okay. He kind of goes, well, there's a way to communicate with him, but you won't be seeing him, and they sort of guide you. You go deep into Castle Terrendale this time, not to the throne room, but into some back hallways, through series of thick stone walls, until you're in this one fairly narrow hallway, guarded by a series of Imperial guards. Not the city guard, but the actual guards of the Emperor. Not the king, the Emperor. You see like a steel door, a vault. And next to it, there's kind of this like lever or latch almost. And the guards come up, and one of the guards pulls it down and says, "Your Excellency, the men who came to speak of the dangers are back to speak with you," and releases the latch. And through the steel door, you kind of hear a tinny version of the Emperor who goes, "Yes, is Coruscant with them? Welcome back. I am currently in my protected chamber. What have you learned?" And you notice this looks basically like a panic room, a steel panic room. Max, you get the sense there are also arcane wards all over this thing. As you walk up, you do notice that some of your magical effects dim down and reduce.
Mm-hmm.
Some sort of anti-magic field, potentially.
Yeah. All right. Question. So when I notice that it's about, like, I don't enter that. When I detect that there is such a thing, I don't enter it because I want the message to continue going.
Mm-hmm.
So question. Coruscant, where did we leave him? What's he up to?
Chorus was with the other group that was clearing out the sewer. There was something that occurred there. You heard back from the other guards. Chorus was fine, but there were injuries. Again, similar to what you guys faced in the aqueduct, there wasn't much information. It was cleared out of anything, and essentially when they returned to the statue, there was a large arcane spell that struck them that killed a few of the guards.
Okay.
The statue.
We have confirmation the Coruscant was okay.
Yes, the statue being the one that's over by the old docks that you guys went through to get to the sewer at one point.
Okay. Well, given the pointed question from the king, I imagine we would answer truthfully about Coruscant.
Okay.
And then explain the situation.
Noted. Yep.
And ask for his orders on how we can best protect the city, I guess, and him and the throne.
Okay.
Oh, and I also explained how like Vela Drake's wedding invitation specifically called out the palace throne room.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've mentioned that before.
He says, "Heresy! My throne room shall not be a place for this dark magic. But as you know, if I die, my throne room would also be lost. It's noted. Perhaps we need to be smarter to lure her out into the open where we can defeat her."
Okay, so he's got no specific orders for us then?
He says, perhaps it would be best, since it seems that this Lady Veladrake is somewhat enamored with your group, interested in something from your group, that you all stay close by as well, in the castle, to see if you see any signs of her. And he kind of whispers through the door again to his guards. Make it so that the chambers for the guests are made if they wish to stay. In fact, I command it. You shall stay, and I will request that you all provide your service to the Empire to protect the castle along with my guards and my mages. Okay, Max, your sensing motive on the Emperor?
Yeah, I just want to make sure he's legit. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you haven't met the Emperor before, other than the short times that you've met recently. He sounds like he is being held somewhat in a place of uncomfortable captivity to some extent. In a position that he's not used to, having lived his entire life in opulence and freedom. Beyond that, you don't gather anything beyond that.
But I can't tell if he's in where he is out of duress or if he's there because he's like defensive.
I will say that with that 20, you do determine that he is being defensive. He's not being forced to stay where he is.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Right. That's what I was trying to that's what I was trying to figure out.
Okay.
Like is he stuck in a trap or is he stuck in a vault that he's put himself into? Yeah.
No.
Okay.
He sounds fragile through the tinniness of the steel door, but at times, when he says, "I command you to stay here," you're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, no, he's fully within his powers still. It just sounds more tinny and fragile."
Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess we, I don't know. Guys, what do you guys want to do? I don't know. I'm out of ideas. I'll shut up.
I mean, I agree we need to be here. I just, I don't know, maybe we should go check out the throne room and see what's going on in there just in case, right?
At this point, Master Cleric Nantes appears behind you all. And you all have survived your troubles. It's been a long day. Perhaps I shall be your escort around the citadel for as long as you need. That way the guards can keep their focus on the king. And he kind of nods to the Imperial guards, as well as two guards that look different than the rest who aren't wearing any armor. He nods to them and goes, "We shall protect the Emperor in another way." And says, "Wherever you all need, I'm sure I can lead you to it." His neck is exposed. Yep.
Okay. Any of them have fresh neck scars?
No. Not that you see. No.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? Do we know that, like, if you stab doppelganger or whatever the hell this thing's neck is, that wound won't be healed the next time they shift?
It would be healed with a restoration spell, I would say. It wouldn't just be healed with regular healing outside of, like, you would still see the mark even if you took a cure potion, unless you got normal amounts of rest. Like, the cure potion will scab it over really quickly and you won't be injured by it, but it'll still show as a mark. But if you took a restoration potion or otherwise restoration spell, it would actually get rid of that, as well as any long-term care healing wise. But the altered state of a doppelganger wouldn't hide a mark like that if it struck flesh.
But a normal rest where someone is not long-term carrying you wouldn't? Is that what you're saying?
Normal rest, no. Long-term long-term care rest would, or restoration. Anything that would return a level, essentially.
Oh, like a drain?
Yeah, kind of. I would say with any like scar marks like that were occurred from battle, it would take something that would actually return that sort of that kind of a drain. So it would be more like a long-term care or a restoration that would actually do it, not just first aid or a cure moderate wounds.
Okay, all right. So it's like a superficial ability damage or drain or something. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha. Non-mechanical, but superficial.
Yep.
Okay.
So with that, Master Nantes says, shall we, from this dark hallway?
Yeah, I guess look at everybody else, and if there's no, no other opinion, then let's go at least look at our rooms or wherever they're taking us to.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys return back to the main level of the Citadel, up the series of stairs. Clearly, you were underground. Very circuitous path until you finally get to the more grandiose portions of the castle. You are led to the hallway of rooms, separate from where the Emperor's chambers are. Just by the nature of it, the way you turn, you get the feeling that the more opulent wing of the castle is the other direction. But you are led to some very nice rooms. On the way, Master Nantes starts chatting with you all. I have fear of what we've seen this day. That this power is unexpected, is growing, and is not from the source of just a singular being. The boneyard that we faced yesterday and this simultaneous attacks within the two sewers and the aquifer, and then the attack at the Planetum, where some sort of magic was able to kill a score of people almost immediately. Dark magic, powerful, dread magic that is unholy. To turn the undead so quickly against those who, well, we're here anyways. We should all try to get rest as much as possible while we can. Who knows when we might be able to rest next.
I mean, does this person know the history of the first time we went down into the crypt?
Mm-hmm.
And
I believe that was all of that past history you guys did divulge to the Emperor, and Master Nantes was there the first time you spoke with him alongside of Chorus.
I mean, so he would know that was a Vecna cult, right? So he said he's concerned about things, and it looks like obvious that Belladrake, who's very powerful for herself, is trying to, I don't know what her end game is, but most Vecna cultists' end game is to bring Vecna back, right? So if she's of that power, then she's Yeah.
There have been many occurrences of mass hysteria at times in my overwatch of the city as its imperial soul, let's say, in which we saw cultists of various kinds of dark beings rise. Always small groups. This time it feels as though beneath our feet there's much more than past occurrences. I can sense it, that their numbers are stronger. But thus far we have not been able to find the rat's nest.
It looks like the rat will make their appearance sometime soon.
It does feel as though these other fights and quarrels were traps to toy with those of us seeking to find the swarm.
Yeah.
Well,
So I agree with him. It's time to sleep and heal.
okay. Is there anything you guys wish to do before resting after this extremely long day that has sapped you?
Yeah. Max casts one of his archivist spells, restful or healthful rest,
Okay, on who?
on one creature per level, no two of which can be more than 30 feet apart. So
Okay,
all of us.
all of you. Yeah.
And basically, we just sleeping is going to regain double hit point.
Nice. Okay. Okay, noted. That will help certainly Medolfir to some extent. Lanray, that would pretty much
Oh.
heal you.
Is the big cleric guy? Is he able to cast a restoration on me so I can get my point of strength back?
So I believe with brewing, he has to use some of his actual magical skills to brew the potion. Let me see.
Well, like he's a cleric of an emperor of a kingdom. Don't they have scrolls of restoration?
Yeah, remember last time you spoke with him, essentially, for some reason that you're not sure of at this time, a lot of the stock of of scrolls and potions has been dispersed. You're not sure what happened to the stockpiles of this, and he's essentially saying between him and only one other cleric who's not as powerful as him, there is a shortage of beings able to replenish them at this time. So he has been slowly working on replenishing scrolls and potions. He handed you, if you remember, all of his potions previously. Let's see. He doesn't actually have to utilize his spells in order to create the potion that he's making it from. So he is able to cast his normal castings today. What is it that you want him to cast?
I guess whatever level of restoration is needed to replenish the 1 point of strength damage that I sustained.
Oh yeah, you do have an actual.
Yeah,
it's just a single.
I guess the question is, whatever the source that was from, was it temporary, and would it enough time to pass that I got it back already naturally?
No, it was still in this day, so the only way you would have naturally gotten it back was through the sort of heal mechanics of long-term care. So you haven't done that yet. So yeah, I mean he can do it, or you could do the long-term care. Now, Max, your spell, does it actually act as long-term care also? Let me see.
No, it just doubles the rate. So if there was if there was long-term care, then it would be double. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, if it's a single point of ability damage, rest does give you back 1 point total per day.
You are correct. You do recover.
Actually, no. It's one per ability per stat. So if you had like 1 damage to strength and 1 damage to con,
you have to pick. I get that.
then you get one of each. But yeah, you would get it back from rest. How much ability damage did you take?
Just 1 point.
So I think you get it back just from sleeping.
Yeah.
Unless it's drain.
No, it's damage.
Okay, then yeah, that damage comes back. Drain, I think you have to actually do restoration. It won't come back by itself.
Correct. So do you want to just rest it away, or you want him to go ahead and remove it from you just in case?
Yeah, the rest is fine.
Okay. Anybody else have any requests from the Master Cleric? You all are quite easy wards to watch over. Usually I'm asked to do so much from the gods above to channel that divinity. Okay. You do Cure Minor Wounds, Max. What are you doing that on? Oh, just 1 HP. Got it. Just the one that you were able to do. Yes, understood.
Well, I've got one more. I've got one more for somebody who's worst off.
Medolfir is the worst off out of all of you.
Okay, here's Medolfir. You get one back.
GM, should I update my health or?
No, I will go ahead and you guys can go ahead and press the rest buttons
Twice.
Landray, that should pretty much max you out. So you can just put yourself at 56 or just press the rest button twice. Mayman's already full. I think the only person who doesn't fully get everything back would be Medolfir. So Medolfir, you wake up partially injured still. What's up?
I was going to say, you said hit the rest button twice, but it's still 1 rest, right?
It is still 1 rest. It's 1 overnight rest, yeah.
It's because the twice is because of that restful.
Yeah. No,
rest that I guess, yeah.
I'm tracking. In my brain, I was like, it doesn't mean I get my spells back between, because I could have possibly casted Cure Light, but I don't.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
And Medolfir, how much do you need to get back to full strength?
I am only 17 down right now. So I'm at 92 of 109.
Because I have some potions. I could give you a potion.
To be honest with this, like where we're at right now, say hold on to the potions.
Okay.
Is there anybody at the castle that would have been able to administer long-term care to Medolfir while we rested?
Yeah, but the long-term care wouldn't, I don't think, stack on top of the cure. Oh yeah, it would have actually.
It would. Yeah, the restful. Yeah, so instead of 2 rests, it would have been 4 rests for Medolfir if someone was able to do a long-term care DC 15 heal check on him.
I'll say the assistant to Master Nantes was available for that. He would have wrapped any of the sort of wounds. He's a caretaker as well as a cleric, so you gain another.
There's got to be like a paladin or a cleric of low level that could have made up that 17 points in the castle, right? I mean,
I'd agree. You guys are able to, unless you were way more injured, able to fully reheal. So Medolfir, you could be full health at this point.
Hey, what is Master Nante's first name? And if it's not Rossi, then what are you even
doing? He's actually named, let's see. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the other character, the black lady from the show that he was dating.
Oh.
What was her name?
Shit, I don't know.
You know, the one who went out through the airlock. Yeah. Anyways, yes, sure. It's Rossi, sure.
Is Bob doing good? He was never actually hit in the library, right?
Bob was never hit before you guys actually started fighting him. He just kind of followed along. Bob is kept to your room, and Master Nantes is kind of like, go ahead and keep Bob in your room and not wandering the halls because, for obvious reasons.
Yep. I will lock the door also, just to make sure.
Okay. Well, with that being the case, you guys are now in the castle. You are being told by the Emperor at least to stay nearby and defend the castle as needed, including the throne room, from any of these issues. So I think we're going to end session there unless there is an emergency final thing. Make sure to set your spells now or before next session, however you wish. But other than that, I think that's the end of session.
Wait, we're not having a shopping session? Like, we're not going to spend the whole session walking around town and all stuff?
Well, you
I
can
was gonna
disobey
say,
the
I
orders of
need-
the Emperor. Yeah,
I
go
need
ahead.
to do that, but I'm gonna message you out of session, GM.
Okay.
Just on
Yeah, that sounds
so you
good.
can worry
There
about it.
are, keep in mind, there is an armory within the Citadel.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I'm sure the King's Guards have a lot of arrows that you could just grab a bunch of. I don't know.
Right, I was gonna ask like how much, can I get some arrows on the house maybe?
Yeah, I think that would be very viably available.
Because
throughout.
those things that we had from Flicker Wisp are long gone, right?
Which
Yeah.
things?
They died. They left with him. Those like his what do you call them? His like machines that he or automated automatons that just kind of
Oh,
his little
servants?
command.
The
Yes, his
crafting bots, yeah.
the crafting
Yeah.
bots, yeah.
he would actually cast that each day to do that. So yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if he can get multiple quivers, we can put additional quivers into the bag holding. I've been clearing space in there because that's one of the reasons I just fed part of Ivan Deer to Bob. I'm trying to get rid of that body.
Oh, also, I'll be removing one ration for the last day before you got to the Citadel. The Citadel will feed you, but you guys did have to snack at some point during the day.
One extra from my bag for the Hydra, by the way.
Okay, noted.
I
All right.
I will not need it.
Yes, that's true. You do not need it. All right, everyone. Have a good rest of your Sunday.
All right, gents. Yeah, absolutely. You too, DM. Thank you for that.
All right, you two guys have a good one.
Good session.
See you next session. Yep.
Bye.